today we're going to talk a bit about my makes from 2022, and I have most of it hanging here, and I thought I'd show you what I've made and share some of my thoughts on these things and what I like about them and what I would like to change if I'm going to change anything. So welcome. Most of these things here I made during the second half of last year, and I didn't really have any creative mojo going on along sewing and knitting and stuff in the first half of 2022, and then around summer I got some ideas and I started making things. And one of the first things I made was this skirt. I've constructed the pattern myself. I like it, it's really cool and nice, and I like the drape of the fabric. What I would change though is the way it sits on my body, because I don't think the waist part is the most flattering. So it's not one of my top garments, but still the first one I made. And then I made this, I think, and this is actually, I make a lot of garments that I try out different patterns and stuff first, and I always try to make them as wearable as possible. So this is also one of those leftover pieces that I bought really for nothing at a local yarn fabric store, and it's like a ribbed jersey, and it's really nice. I got my inspiration of a top that I found on Pinterest. I think it was Anthropology who sold this originally, but I just got inspired by the back, and then I drafted this pattern myself. What I would change, I redid the neck and the back part a few times with the ribbing edging here, and I think it turned out, since I had to search multiple times, it got a bit overstretched, so it's a bit it's not laying completely flat, it's too stretched, so that's definitely something I would change. And also for the next time, making it slightly longer and maybe even wider at the bottom. But I use this a lot. Let's see. And then I made this one, I think. This is also, the fabric is also from the same store as this one. It's called Tygdrömmar. I can put a link in on that, but it's an online store, but they also have, sometimes they have like rare openings to their warehouse, and it's actually quite close where I live, so really fun to go there. And this is also a wearable toile, and this is in gauze, and I had never worked with that before. Double gauze, I like it a lot. And this is a pattern from fabric store called Augustina, I think. And it has a lot of nice drape to it and fits really well. And then I also made this, the same pattern. The fabric is bought at a store that they had a co-op with this pattern company or fabric company called Nupo, and they were there with their little van selling some fabrics, so I got this gorgeous piece, and it's the same pattern as this one. I really like how that blouse sits. Okay, yeah, so then I made some t-shirts, This one was the first one I made. I was a bit short on fabric on this. This is also the same fabric, also from Gårda, and the top is, the t-shirt pattern is a frit pattern called the Stellanti, and I liked it. It sits really well, and it's both loose but still quite feminine, I think, and classic t-shirt. So it has a bit of a curved hem, and I would have liked it to be slightly longer on this one. Let's see. And then this one is the same pattern, the Stellanti, but I've done some modifications. I made it a bit longer. I made the hem just a straight hem, and I shortened the sleeves quite a lot and added a folded edge here because I like the cuff on the t-shirt like this. And this is probably one of my favorite t-shirts, especially how it sits. I like the look when you have the folded cuffs on your sleeves, and also that it sits on my body in a nice way. I would say this is one of my top makes this year. Okay, so next up, I think, if we're going in chronological order, I made these, and these are the base trousers, it's called. I made them. These are also actually a wearable toile. I've had this fabric laying around for many years, and these pants I've used a lot. I didn't think I would use them that much because they are definitely not the type of pants I would buy in the store. They're kind of wide, and I really like this youthful look that they have, and I really enjoyed sewing these, and I'm hoping I will make more. And they have some quite advanced sewing techniques, and I found it to be quite challenging but also really fun to do these like advanced techniques with the pockets, and they are really well designed, I would have to say. And I also have this contrasting cotton fabric on the inside, and as you can see, I had like covering the edges of the fabric on the inside and making them look like a really nice pair of pants for like a suit. So some quite advanced sewing, but I really liked making these, and I really like when I get the challenge in a make. And these came from, the pattern comes from this book, and it's just, I haven't changed anything. I think I changed a little bit, took away a little bit over my bum, a little bit of fabric, but I think that's the only change I made to the pattern. And as I said, it was a wearable toile, and I had plans for making another pair of pants from this book also. So I cut out the patterns for both of these, but I had my heart set on the pants that's called Worker on this pant here, the Worker trouser, but I haven't come around to making this yet. And mostly now what's keep holding me back is that I really like the base trouser more than I thought I would. So now I'm mainly thinking maybe I should just make another pair of the base trouser instead. So I can really recommend this book just based on those two patterns. And there's a lot of other things in this book too. The last few months I did a lot of knitting. And actually I talked before about this, that I've been home from work for quite some time now, and then that's when I started knitting, and this is a really a garment I'm really happy with. I think it's called the Bobble Sweater or the Lil's Bobble Sweater. I made some small changes to it, but I've worn this a lot since I knitted it. So it's really nice, it's soft, it's knitted with merino. It's a Permin yarn called Dagmar merino. And then I have also kid silk mohair mixed in, so I have 2 strands, and I really like how this turned out. And then I knitted my hat. You have seen this in my other films. So I had some yarn left over, and I got the idea of designing a hat. So that's the next make. And then I decided to start making my films, and I filmed a tutorial of the hat, so this one. And during this time I also wrote down the pattern, and it's now also in a published version on Ravelry. And then, just to use my calculations and I tried a lot bulkier yarn to do the same hat again. And then the last thing to be finished before the end of the year was this one. This is the September sweater by Petite Knit, and it's knitted with 3 strands of mohair yarn. And when I have a film unboxing this yarn, I wasn't really happy with the colors that I ordered. I had in my mind visioned something different. I think I wanted it to be darker and with a warmer color. I don't know what was on my mind when I ordered the yarn, but still I decided to go ahead anyway. It was a fun knit. I did, there's a modification for this pattern by a girl called Lia Lykke, I think, Lia Lykke maybe. She is Danish, I believe, and she did this modification, but starting to work on this modification, it's this part here that's in her modification, and also the sleeves have a modification to them. Really nice and interesting details, I would say, to the sleeves and to the front. But the modification, you find it on Instagram, but it's written for a previous version of the pattern. So Petite Knit has changed her pattern in the way it's written, so you can't really read the pattern and do the modification anymore, because it's not the same. She's amongst other things, her decreases on her sleeves are not the same anymore as when this modification was made. So I had to do a lot of thinking to pull this off, but it was actually quite fun to do anyway. This is the back. I really like the sweater, but I'm not that fond of the color. I have not worn it yet, only for pictures. So I don't think it looks bad, but it's something holding me back a bit. And also it's very bulky, so I don't know, I wanted it to be a bit oversized, and I don't know, but I think it's a bit too big, especially the sleeves. They are a bit too wide to my taste. So this definitely, it was fun to make, but it definitely doesn't come up among my top 5, I would say. So that was my makes for at least the last part of 2022. And if I would say my top garments of these, I really love this one. This one is definitely one of the top 5. The base trouser has also been my go-to garment since I made them. I've worn them so much. Ever since I made them, I've worn them so much, and they work for dressing up, more, and they also work wearing like on a daily basis. And I will definitely make more of these this year, I think. I also like this one a lot. This is also amongst my top makes, and I especially like it wearing it together with the base trousers. This top in both versions was also one of the top makes of this year. Super fun and easy. The only thing a bit advanced about this is the binding around the neck, but other than that it's really straightforward and a quick make. And I would say these, and then of course I keep these two as one because I wear them both equally much, but I like these two a lot, my own design. So that's what I made 2022. I have some plans for this year. As I said, I will probably try to make some more things from this book. And I have already on my shelf behind me here these two ready for the trousers from this book. So I have here linen fabric. It's stone washed, so it's a bit crinkly. So I bought this with worker pants in mind. And then I have this black fabric. It's a canvas sort of. I would say it's almost like a jeans fabric, black jeans. I think it's a little bit of stretch into it also. I bought this from Selfmade, and then this one I bought from Gårda, my next door store. And then I have these. This is Nuppo fabric. I got the last piece of that, so I have quite a long piece, and it's in one of my favorite colors, this teal, or I really like this. I haven't quite decided what to make of this yet, or with this yet, so maybe I'll make another top like this, but I have enough to maybe make a simple dress. I don't know, I need to see what I can find out. And then I have this, it's like cream colored and little dots. This is from Gårda also, the same fabric as I used for this one. And I don't know exactly, I have 1 meter of it, so I need to think. Might be a top, or it will be a top of some kind, but I don't know yet if it's going to be like a t-shirt or one tank top without the cross in the back, or just like a normal top, sleeveless top. And then this is, I was in Gothenburg and I went to a store there this summer, and I bought this one. So this is just a really thin, drapey, nice jersey. So I don't remember how much I bought. I hope could be more, and it could be enough to make more than one garment, but it's definitely a sleeveless top, with a bit wider, so when you wear it tucked in, it will be drape over the top a bit, over your trousers. So of some kind. And then first out this year will probably be this one. As you can see, I've come quite far. This is the Snowy Forest. I really think this will be a favorite, and I'm really happy for this. I was spending a lot of time trying to find yarn to buy for this, and ended up finding some that I already had in my stash. So I have two thin yarns here. And these two I started knitting a cardigan with. I don't think I will finish that cardigan. And this is soft, super soft from Magazine Duet. And that's a woolen yarn. And I started knitting a dress with this. And that's also something that I think I won't be able to finish, or I won't finish, started it a few years ago. So I tried combining these, and I got this really lovely marl color, and it's super soft, and especially after the blocking, it turns out like silky smooth and with nice drape. So I have high hopes for this, and I'm making this, I think, 3 sizes larger than the pattern suggests, because I really want the extra wide fit and have it oversized. So I think I should have made a medium according to the measurements, but this is an extra large. Yeah, and I'm almost ready for binding off the edge and starting with the sleeves. So I'm guessing that this will be the first finished garment of 2023. So I hope you've enjoyed my little video today, and I try to put some links in the comments below where you can find links to different patterns and stuff. And I hope that you enjoyed watching this, and I hope the lighting has been enough, because we have had a few weeks here with very, very gloomy weather. I saw in the newspaper yesterday that in my area we have had only 1 hour and 54 minutes of sun in the last month. So gloomy weather. So today it's the clouds are not as thick, so I hoped I could have enough light to do some filming. So thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye!